Yeah, maybe others will be joining, so let's make a start. Krishna, I can see you joined, and anyone else on the meeting? It's you and me today. So okay. So let's make a start. I think we are anyway recording this session so that if somebody need it, then they can go through and then they can come back with the questions. Um, yeah. So what we covered till now, Krishna. So we covered the ITIL and the ServiceNow introductions. Also, we gone through the basics, understanding of how to customize the UI, the base system properties, and then basic level, at least on the banner, and then and going through the settings and do some changes to your own personal instances, and also what admin can change. So that's what we were discussing on this basic configurations. Also, we enabled two properties which are actually enabling you to uh, has or users to self-register on their self, and then they can send a request to you so that you once the admin is approving them, then that will be those users will be added to ServiceNow, and then thereon they can use ServiceNow. Also, we enabled the email properties wherein we if somebody want to send an email from ServiceNow, then they need to enable the property. So that's what we discussed in this the enabling email properties. So where to enable, that's where you can navigate through this on the ServiceNow. Also, in the last Friday, we gone through ServiceNow list view. What is actually list and how list looks, what actually the navigation through, what are each fields, how to go through the fields, how to group them, how to modify the values inside the fields. A couple of things we discussed in the list view. So now today we will touch base on these three topics. So I was put few details, but we will see how much we can cover um, in the today's sessions. We'll go through the form. First, we'll go through the form and we'll try to cover these two topics, and then see if the time permits. We'll go to the user and the groups and rest roles. But otherwise, we will actually discuss on mainly on the forms and the field dictionaries today. With that, I will go and then open my instance. I have not opened yet actually my instance today. Let me just start. Logging into my instance. Okay, it was quick. Good. So what is the form view? On the last day, last discussions, we were actually going through and understanding on the forms, how the form looks. So when you navigate on the left-hand side, if you type an incident, for example, then you see some of the modules in it. So when you click on a create, you will have a form which is coming here. This is what the mainly the form which you look any of in ServiceNow, the form view will be something like this. What you do inside this, that is what actually the form view we are going to discuss today. We will discuss on what are the change, what are the context you have here, then what actually we do with these context, and why they are, and what is mean by form design, form layout, and related list, and couple of these. But these we will go through individually again and understand how they need to be configured when your form has to be look good and then work good, and then there are some scripts which are running on the back end which actually give you pop-up, do some control on the data what you actually feed on it. So those will be configured inside these uh, scripts when we write again and then discuss on it. Yeah. So and also we have something called tables. We will also create a table and then we will see how they can come onto this, and then how to see the tables, how to create the tables. That is also will be discussed in the sessions. So with that, I will start with the session today. This is the form view, and wherein you see that number of fields which are configured. And the last session we was telling about the fields which are on the table, right? The incident table will have number of fields, so they will be reflecting on this, and you have a control on what to make it visible on the form, what don't, what you don't want to what you don't want to see on the form. So then you can take out that, and the administrative team will have a control on um, configuring these. So the in case if the personalized instance, in case if I'm an user of the service now, then I will come here and I will personalize the form, what field I will be required to view. It's only a view, but not the configuration for the end user. But for the admin, he can go and configure a number of things on the form, and you can also have a control on each of the fields which you can see on the form. And so that's I will tell you how we can do that actually, so in a couple of minutes. First I will go through the form, what is available inside the form. You have a save option. If you had done any changes to the form, then you can go and then click on the save, so that that gets saved. And even you have a same buttons over here, it's a you have a save here also again. And also you have create work order from this incident, or from this form you want to create a work order. There is these called as an UI actions. Each of these are called as an UI actions. We discussed on the UI actions in the upcoming sessions. Also the configurations, when you go to the configurations, this is only visible for the admins, wherein you see the form design, form layout, related list, all means whatever is there listed here, so that all will be coming in the same page. So when you click on the table, it will goes to the table. When you click on the security rules, it will go to the security rules. When you click on the business rules, what are the business rules running on this form, so those will be displayed. Get client scripts, what client scripts which are running on this, so that way each individuals you can navigate and then go through. And then also you want to export this record in a PDF or in XML or a whatever the format you want. So that's how you can create. And then you can also favorite this incident into your, I said you here there is a favorite button. There is, you can actually favorite it into your, you can create a favorite and keep it for later use. And also you can copy the URL what you have. And also something called ServiceNow actually work on the sysID. Any new incident which gets created, each one will have a unique sysID. Whenever any record where you want to view and then you want to fetch it, then this sysID will be very much useful. When you actually go and then configure these scripts, we will more use this sysids, and we'll again talk about these sysids. The reload forms, if you want to reload this form, if you have done the changes, you want to just see that whether it is reflecting and then your notes are capturing. So if something you want to see, then you can go to the reload the form. In case if you want to attach an incident, any attachments into the incident before you raise it, so or even you after raising it, then you can use this icon for attachment. This I said, if any users who want to final personalize that, then they can use it, and the submit and resolve you can see again. And on the last day I was telling actually, so there is something called you can type incident dot capital list. The list will be open uh, in the next page. If you type list dot incident dot small list, it will open in the same page. All the list which are actually related to this incident will be listed in a same page. So if I open any of the incident which are already open, so you can go to this and then see there are the one which has get created, and in the top you can see more buttons are visible now. And also you see the status, it is in progress. Whenever it is actually created, then it will comes to new, and then again it will be moved to in progress and then on hold. When you click on hold, you see there are few more icons which are coming, so a few more fields which gets enabled. I think you can see something which is becoming mandatory when you click on the Honold. So those are the changes you yourself you can do as we run through these sessions. Also, you have some time work. I think I added this field for myself. This will not be visible for everyone. If anyone want to add it, there is a field in the uh, table, and then that will be viewed onto this. So there is something called, when we come to the tables, I will discuss what are the tables available. So you need to remember, actually these are actually extended from the task table. There is a main parent table called task, and on the task there are set of fields already created. And over that, in the incident table, again you will create furthermore tables which are relevant and customized on the incident table. So we'll discuss that more in detail when we discuss on a table. So parent table will be the task table. If you type task dot list, you will have certain fields. Those are the parents. So those are visible on all the extended tables from this task table. So you can see change is coming here, problem is coming, and the incident. So there are more actually. So they are all extended tables. I will come to that when we are creating a table. But just remember that there is something called a parent above this incident table. So that is task table. And now we are on the form. We will discuss on this. um, we were seeing actually follow up. If some customer care want to follow up, then they can click on the follow up. If I want to, instead of saving, I just wanted to update the for the changes, then I can click on the update. And if I want to resolve the incident, I can go and directly resolve the incident as well. When you try to resolve, there are certain fields. Again, it will be asking you to fill it. So those are called as a UI. They're written on the UI actions and client scripts. So we will go through that, what is mean by client script and what is actually UI actions. Um, um, in maybe we'll discuss that in the this week itself. So you have, when you click on the right side, when we were in the new page, where I don't think there were many of the details you were seeing. If you go to the new form, I'm in the task incident. If I go to this new form, then you see the difference. I think there is nothing much more. You don't have many menus here. So, but when you go to the created incident, you have more fields enabled for you, or more actions are enabled for you to do something more. When you do this, you can create this. I see this for saving and add what visual dashboard. There is something called a visual dashboard where you can create a group, and then you can start adding all the incident which has to be shared with the board there. Who are registered into that board, they can view it. And also from this incident, you can create another incident. So also it will allow you to create a problem, request, work order, child incident. So there are a lot of ways. Okay, so these are all actually you can create. When there is a new incident, it got created, you have many more options to do multiple things. So each one will do their own. There is some actions which are written on the backend. What it purpose, the purpose of these one, you can understand by going through the UI actions. So I'll come back to that. So then again, you have something called configurations, wherein you have a form design and the form layout. So majorly we will discuss on these topics first today, so that you can, your form design and form layout and the related list will be covered. So you understand how to design the form, how to actually modify these changes, how to add a new field into it, how to change look and feel, we can change it on the form. So those we will discuss majorly today. Also you have export, you can export these, and also we can have a view. This is something I was telling, actually we will discuss again on the views. There are a couple of views you can create for the Form, you can see there is a form which you have here. You have certain fields already visible. If you go to the other views, you might not be seeing the similar fields on the table. So that way it will change the look and feel. Let me just go back. I'll just do this now again. You can go to view, and again I am in the incident panel, and now I will change. I think that need some changes to it. Also, you have a views here. Let me just see that the default view. Okay, it is created incident already. So let me just add some details into it so that I can move further with it again. I will save this now. Once you save the form, so you have your details are saved. See this? Whatever you have saved, those details are already been saved here. And now if I want to change the view, you can go, it is the default view. And if you have to go to mobile view, there are some certain changes you will be seeing it. On the mobile you will see like this. So the mobile view has been created like this. So how to create these views we will discuss again in the coming sessions. For the moment, we will see how to configure the form and understand. So this views also we will discuss when we create a table or the fields. We will discuss there are views you can see, and those we will be creating the views. And also you can create a favorite. We discussed URL. We discussed sysid. We discussed, and then you can extract this into the XML as well. Also, you have something called a history. What happened to this incident earlier? So you want to see all that. So then you can go to the list view. You can view that what exactly and load a related list. You will see many of the activities which are happened on each of the fields. It shows that all the fields which are on the table, what happened and when actually the last time updated. And if you want to see more details, you can just go and then drag all these left hand side to the right hand side menu, and then you will see more fields visible on this, and you can debug more on the incident, what is happening, what actually who did the changes in terms of the hard hit purpose. So you can have review these what field being changed at what time. So there might be some changes on the back end which the data comes and then that updates on only on this field. So then that also can be viewed here, and see that who is updated, what is that, all that you can extract and view it. The reload I already explained. It's actually reloading the form. And yeah, so now let's go to the details of it. And also you have a icon here. You want to view the next incident, you can go to the next incident. And if you want to come back, you can come back to the same incident. In the form you have a related links. It is something called it take you to you want to manage the attachment. There are two links which are being added. We can configure these links as well. And also you will have something called if you reload this related list, you will have more menus coming here. So these are called as a sections. We'll configure in a couple of minutes how to configure these, how to modify these. In the task SLAs, you will see whenever any SLAs triggers. So we were seeing there were the SLAs were tagged to this incident. Uh, then they were running. So we will also create the SLAs in the upcoming sessions. In one of the topic is creating an SLA and weaving them in the incident module. Or in case if you want to create an SLA for any of the table, we can create in the same way. So now let's come to the configure again. And I was telling about the form design, form layout. So if you click on the form layout, it will take you, it's all can be controlled only by the admin. So if you click on the form layout, it is taking some time to load. When it loads, it gives you the left hand panel and the right hand panel. The left hand panel will be the one which shows all the fields which are configured on the ServiceNow for this particular table. So which table we are viewing? It is a incident table. And the view, I told you we can create a views of that, whatever the view we were creating, we were viewing in the incident panel. You can create a new view, and also you can add which fields you want to see on the right hand side. So that way you can go to new and create a new view also. But for the moment we were in the incident panel view, and I am in the incident section. On the incident form you can see there, let me just open another incident also. On the incident form, you can see there are fields which are configured. What actually you can see, it's a number, color, category, and till time worked is actually there is something called split. If you see here, you come till year, and then there is a split year, and then the number and the fields are starting from the beginning again. You can split the form into two parts. You can split it into two parts and then add the fields into the right hand side again. Wherever you put a split, that form till that area will be split into two parts. So if you go back again, here you see it is a time worked, and then again it starts with the start on hold reason, and then it will continue like that on it ends at user impact. So it ends at user impact. You can see the form is split into two parts, and then wherever the fields you want to move here and there, so that can be done. Even if you want to move the state here, you can still go and then do this and then just save it. On this view only it changes. You see the state has come to this side now. So you can do these changes, whatever the changes you want to do on the form layout. You can do those changes. I will get back this state again to that place. At least on the form layout, it will looks good. Whatever the changes you want, you can do the changes, and the end split will actually end the split of this form. So here it is after the user impact, it is ending the split. That means once you end the split, you will actually again see the full view. You don't have a split on this short description and the description, so it will be completely occupying your page. So the each field of short description and the description is coming till the end of this page and the starting of the page. So that's how you can configure this. And also you have something called contextual search menu here. You can see this is the related search results. If any related incidents have something recorded already, then you will have something which will be shown here. So by using these, customers can actually, before they go and click on the incident create, then they can see this related list. Are there anything which is helpful for me to resolve the incident my own? So those they can see that can be still configured, and once you click here, then it will goes to the contextual search results. And on the search results, you can even do what actually you should see inside the contextual search results. Those also you can configure. So I will tell you in couple of minutes on that. We will discuss this is majorly on how to add your contextual search results. There are more fields which are available. If you want, you can actually drag them into the right hand side and then view. And whatever the changes you are doing only onto the indicator panel. And in the incident section, this is the incident section. Okay, and if you go again, if you want to create a new field, there is something which is not there here. I have a phone, and then maybe I have a landline, but I don't have a home phone. So then you can add a home phone here. Therefore, multiple ServiceNow has already created the set of fields which what type of the field you want to create. They already listed all types of the fields here, so you can select any of them. Maximum, I think, if you want to enter a any of the text, maybe the phone number, then we'll go to the text string view. So I will say test. I will create another field and I will add it into the incident panel, and then I'll just create add, then I will go here. Once it create, then it will be somewhere in the side. Maybe let me just do it. And also you can actually set what actually the how many characters you want to accept using that. Oh, it's already added here. So you can see this. Once you save this form, then you can view that on the form view as well. So it is saving the form section now. Uh, Let me go back to this form, then I just load it. You see, there is something come below the contextual search results. So you can do anything as you wish, and also you can select any of the variables already available or the type of the variables which are already available. So you have multiple variables which we are created here, we have here, and more of these variables we will discuss in the upcoming sessions wherein we discuss service catalog. We will more use actually all these variables, many of those variables in the catalog development. When you are developing any catalog, you had to create a field, you had to create a dates, a lot of things which you will do on the catalog. There we will discuss mainly on the um, all types of the variables. This is more of the limiting what how many characters you want to accept it from the users. And here we discussed again on the sections. So you want to create any new sections, you can still create them. So that's how it goes actually. So if you want go to any other view, the fields which are there will change. So you see there is something called something changed, and then the view on the form also will be changed as per um, the the password. If you type, so you only there are three fields been added in the password view. So that way, whatever the changes you want, you can start doing it from the this thing. And if you want to create any sections, you can still go to the sections, and then it will ask you to create a new sections, and then you can create a new section and then work on it. So this is more of the actually the forms, and then once you save this, then it will goes back. The form will be uh, like this. Any questions till now, Krishna? I think this is more of actually dragging the things from there to here. And after this, I'll go to one more topic is when you go to the configurations, you also see the form design. If you click on the form design, it will take you to design the form, how you want to see. We were actually dragging. There are two ways of modifying your form look and feel. So you see there are fields which are already been configured on the view which we were there. On that view, you want to make these changes. So you just actually as an admin, you just drag these up and down. They will automatically move the sections what you were here. I'll just save this. I put the color in the beginning. You can go back and then refresh this page. You see the color has come from the beginning. So the same thing what you are doing on the form layout, it's also possible using the form design, but it is more of the way how you do it actually in the form design and the form layout. It is a bit different, the way it looks, and then way it actually see there, it's a bit changes. Also you have something called related list. If you go to the related list, you have there are few sections which you have created already. So this is on the incident panel. You are seeing on the incident panel, if you go below here, you have something task and task SLA and alert. These are called as a sections within the incident form. So once you come this, and then now I'm seeing only the task SLA and the alerts. Now, if you want to create add anything new section on it, you can still create it. Or if you want to add anything which is already existing, then you can drag them and then um, save. Then it automatically saves here. If you come and then refresh it, it is added in new field here. So likewise, you can customize your form. What do you want to see on the form, and what do you want to? This is when you make this actually as an admin. It is not that it is only visible for you. These changes are going on the backend so that everyone can view the same. Sorry. Yeah. So one minute. Sorry, I have some cough, so I had to in between. I might have to mute myself. So now I have added this. So you change your the view, and then if you don't want, you can actually drag it back again and save it, so that in case if somebody asks you, okay, customize and add these actually in this, there are many requests which will be coming what to add in this, so that they can see. Maybe if you see that yeah, we can also create one example if I want to give. So there are child incident. If everyone actually um, creating an incident, this is going to be the parent incident, and there will be a chain incident associated. So they don't want to go into the each menu and then understand what is actually the child incidents which got created actually for this parent incident. So then they'll ask you, you had it. So in the section you have those uh, options, so you can actually drag one of them when you go and then start playing with these options. So then you will get to know all those uh, options for how to what actually will give you what results. So you might have to exercise more on what are all available. You see there are a parent, and then when you click on the parent, when you see these greens which shows, it gives even the there are multiple fields on it again. So because these parents are being created on a different table, and they are coming and appearing into this table, so they are using if there are multiple fields on the different table, so there are the tables which are being dragged into incidents. I said child and the parent tables, right? So when there are this becomes a parent, then there will be some of the child tables which are getting created, they are being dragged into this form. So then you will see this again when you click on this expand the selected related list, then it will show you the list of you keep watching here. So it will add multiple fields under the parent again. So you are under parent, and within the parent you have multiple fields. You will be use these because there are some of them which will be not available. This called as a dot walking in ServiceNow. When you had to dot walk to the other table and then get the details, so then you will use these menus. In the script also there are a couple of ways to actually you can actually dot walk and then get those variables into uh, the fields, or you can customize them and then use it. uh, this is more of it covers on the form, and then the related list. You see that the bottom one is the related list, what you seen here, that you can customize. And also you have something called a form layout and the form design. Uh, when you click on, I was showing actually when you click on the hold, it actually shows these new icons. What we also do is we will also configure these fields, going into these fields, and maybe we there are more choices you want to add it. You can also add them. You learn more on that in the later. So what I did is I created a. You also seen that something called a test field I created. Let's place something on this table. So if you go onto any of the fields and then just right click here, and there are certain details, you will see what actually it is. The when you type this test, it created something u underscore test. how it got created. There are multiple ways to create a fields on a particular form or on a table, because this is a table, right? So there is something new you are creating here. So how we created, we are gone into the form layout, and then we added a new field in it. uh, the other way you can go, even you can go to the table level and then do that. If you had to go to the table, you go here, and then there are multiple ways to go to the table. So I said we'll be start using one of these as we go, right? So click on the table, it will take you to this particular table, and there are multiple fields on a table which are configured. What is this? Actually, this is an incident. There is a label and a name, and name is also taken as an the incident. When you type the label, it automatically takes the name. And from where it is extended, I was telling it is extended from the task table. When it extends from the task table, what happens, there are certain fields which are already available on the task table will be coming on to this incident table. What is available already created on the task table, that will be already, it already starts coming on to the task table. And if you I drag down, you see this is the customized field, so which I created it now. So you can see that can be removed or added also. But other things, you will never actually go and then amend them, because they are sitting on the parent view, parent task, parent table. So likewise, the u underscore user impact, even you have something called, you can customize it, because that is created on this particular form. If you drag down, there is something called the plus symbol, you can see here. You can go and even add in another uh, field and save it. It is saved. If you save, then it is not having any
people morning
then you can go and then save it.
మార్నింగే స్నానం చేస్తున్నాను నువ్వు కూడా చేసేసావు రిఫ్లెక్స్
Krishna,
మార్నింగ్ సరే
Krishna, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear your background voice. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So now you can see the test one which I created. It is created by default using a string. If you want to modify this, I don't want this actually in a string, then you can click on it, then it opens, and then again you don't want it as a string, you want to make it something else, then you can go and search for what is available here, and then you can use any of the variables available, or the variable types available here, and you can customize them. So I will say date and time. So it shows that it will be, the field will looks like the date and time. And as we are here, I will discuss this, how to create the variable, what is inside this variable. You can see there are, when you type, I think, let me do this way then. uh, I'll go to this page, and I can create the new field from there also. Again, there is a tab which where you click, then it will show. I'll create a string variable. I will type string. The type is string, and when you type string, then it will actually take you. It will add you more fields into it. Then you have a column table. I will say test two. I have already have test one, so I created test two. When I come out of that field, it automatically takes this value here under the column name. How many how many characters you want to allow, so you can configure that, how many characters you want to allow them. And also there are certain details, like you can make the functional field, or you want to make it read only, nobody can add anything, so then you can make it read only. You have something called the mandatory, and also display. So the display field, actually, it's important to understand. When something you made as a display, only one field will be become a display in any of the tables. Why? Because this is the display field. When you use it, or when you on the form layout, you go and then view it here, that display field, what is actually displaying, that actually will, when you get these details in the other form. So this is something, the color, then This is going to be a display field. They made it as a name as a display field because you are seeing the names over there. If you want actually the phone numbers, then that becomes a display field. The display field will be active only for that particular table, as to see whenever you are going to use in any other table and then or any other form when you use it, then those will be displaying from the different tables and different views. So that comes what field has to be visible because the number of fields you have in particular table. In that table, when anyone search actually something like this lookups for some details, then what details it should show? It is showing what actually the field, which field you made it as a display. Those fields will be visible. It is not showing me there are in the color. It is coming from the sysuser table. There is another table called user table. So that user table will have multiple fields again. So those fields, it is not showing me all the fields which are there. There might be a first name, second name, phone number, email id, lot, right? It is only showing what fields you are actually customized to make it visible on the form. When you click on the display, that will start showing in any of the form. When you go, it will start showing you that particular field on those forms when you search. Okay, so that's how you can create. There are certain details here, and also when you log, when you log in, you want to see some default values. So then you can do that. Also, choice list will actually will give you some of the choice like drop down without none. So you want to see the none when there is a choice list is there. The type is choice list. There is something called here. There is a choice list. So if you select and then if the checkbox is the choice list, it will give you a list of choices. What do you want to see? You want to see something so that you can configure it. And how do you want to see? You want to see the none, or you don't want to see, or you want to just a suggestion. So those you can configure. As I said, this variable and the variable types you will actually closely work when you move to the catalog uh, uh, development. So we did this, and then what I do is I just go and then save this into my form. It is saving on the incident and it's saved as a string, and now it's on the table. So now if I go back to this, I don't think it will be visible on the form because I created directly on the table, not on the form layout. If I configured something on the form layout, that will be get added by default on the right hand side. If you go and then click here, it will be by default added. But I had it in the I gone into the table and then added that new field, so it is not added here. So how can I add it now? If I just go here, you see there is a left hand side, the test one and test two are visible now. So I will drag these two here and then save it. And once you save it, you start you viewing those also now. So that way it's a test fields. I selected this as a the test one, test and the test two are a string, and test one is a date. The type I selected as a date. You can see the date which has been already picked it. So that's how you can actually go and then customize and then add new things. And also if you want to move this here, so you I said in the form view you can go and then move it however you want actually. So you can go here and then you can actually drag them on the top if you want to see. I want to take this to somewhere here and these two on the top again. Then save it. Then you see this test one and test two are come here and the test is on the right hand side. So that's how it goes. Actually, you can customize your form and there are more things you can do on the form using the form and the form design and the form layout, and also you can add these into the related list as well. It is something called the dictionary. Let me also discuss about dictionary. When you click on the dictionary, it takes you to a table wherein you have number of fields which are configured and their types. If you want to create a new dictionary entry into that, so then you can go into this. This is more of again creating a new field on it, right? So we created in the different view. You can also go to that and then you can create a new field on the form. So that's how it gives a flexibility to do multiple ways you can create the new fields on the form. You can go directly onto the form and create it, or you can go to the form design and create it, form layout and create it, and you can also go to the dictionary and then create it. So that's how it goes. And if I click on the right click on the particular form, you see this fields. I was telling about how it is taking. So is showing that u underscore test. This is the field which you will be using it on the scripting. It's not that you use the test in any of the where you go and then write the script. You will actually go and then right click and then see what is the field value is. This value you will use in the in your scripting. Remember, u underscore test is the one which you had to use it in your scripting when you are when you are going back. What is u underscore test? I told you. Let me explain again. It's when you take it, it shows that an incident is a table, and what is the type of the variable which you are adding, and you given a label, and it creates a name on its own by giving a u underscore test. These are customized fields. So you will be using these actually on the scripting. So this is more or less, I think we discussed on the form layout. I think I was telling these are actions, UI actions. On the top, you see few of the buttons and all. Those are UI actions. We'll explain you when we come to the UI actions, and one of these which we start explaining under the configurations. We wanted to configure each of these, right? So when we start doing all this, then we will understand on the uh, on these. I was telling we will also do the view, right? So I think I shown you guys this. If you go to the form layout, let me cover that as well. You see the new layout. If you want to create, I told you you can go and then create a new form view. When you click a uh, new form, it says that I'll just a test, and then the new form will be added. And there are certain fields which are already there on the incident. If you want to give them all, you can keep it, or you don't want all that, I just wanted to remove, then you can remove it. Then you can see you want to, in this test view, I wanted to see only this fields, then you can go and then just save this. So that way you will have one more view which gets created, and then you can view that as well. So you can see on the right, if you come to the view here, it is something, the test added to it. um, okay, I think as I'm in the, just saved it and see this view. So you added only these actually on the test view, so it is only showing these values. So if you go and then you can create your new views. If your customer HR department is asking for a different view on the incident form, if your the telecom department might be asking something else, so kind of the technical department might be asking, or a monitoring team will be asking something else, so those views can be created from here again. So that's how it goes. So that is on the form view and design. I was telling we will discuss on the system user. So now this covers the form and also the fields and the dictionary. We discussed on the dictionary. I had gone back up. You can see the desktop,
Very
Krishna.
nice. We can see it. Yeah, yeah. We can see your desktop.
Okay, okay. So because it gives me some error, I don't know why. Um, Okay, so just wanted to confirm. Now I will go back. I think we discussed on the more on in terms of understanding that form layout, how to configure the form, how to actually navigate through the form, those details. So what we do now is we'll go back and then uh, go to the users. I was telling we will also cover something called the users. So let me show what actually it is. Um, if you go to the one which we were discussing is a incident form. There is a something called uh, there are different tables. So we were discussing on the incident table. Now we will go to the user table. When you type in user on the right hand side and scroll down,
Vinay,
yeah,
I can't see your screen, Vinay. Only one screen is showing. That
or
is
is it?
configuring incident
Okay,
form. That
okay. Maybe I will do again. I think I don't know why it is actually not allowing to see. Okay, so I'll just share it again. Is this visible now?
now I
It
can
should
see,
be
Vinay.
good. Yeah. So okay, that's good then. I think now I'm into we were actually doing in the incident. I was typing incident, right? So we were actually looking at the
Yeah.
incident table, what actually we can view. Now I will go back to user. So when an incident has to be created, you need the users to be created on the system and grant an access to them. How are you going to do that and which table it saves actually all those user records? The service now is majorly built on the tables. Okay, so each one of the data we you see inside this, it's all actually one or the other tables. So if you think, if you click here of any of this, you see this is one of the table. So this is stored in the user criteria table. So likewise, each one of these, when you click here, it goes to the page wherein you can actually go back and correlate which table I am in. So you can see on the top, we are in the sys user table. So now I will go to user. I was telling we'll go to the user. Anytime when you are actually doing any configurations, you have to look for system user user administration. So you see this is user administration. So there is a section called user administration. Under that you have a modules called user, groups and roles. And also you can see how many, as an admin you will see many of these. When the normal user will be logged in, then you don't see many of this. So if I just wanted to cross check what actually it shows for others, you can just go and then impersonate. I was telling in the first topic, first day, that there are something called impersonate and then elevate users, right? So we will start using more now because we need to see what actually user sees and what actually administrator sees. So when I go to the user view, you will not be seeing many of the icon. When I see, if I just wanted to go to user, I don't think he sees something on the user here, right? So you have some control on what user can view, what user can't. So that way you can actually restrict certain fields and then customization on the forms to the users. On the incident, you see he has some roles which are being defined. So with that role, what is being allowed, he can only view the incident and then update the incident. So when you go to incident, even he can see there are few details are being grayed out because his role is not being defined to have all the fields. He can navigate through all the fields and then he can view anything and do modifications to incidents. So that's how we'll discuss that now. When a user exists, I told you something called if you want to open a table, then you type user dot something, correct? So but when we type here and use incident was a table and name of the incident or table also was incident, but here it's not that user is a table. If you type just list, it says that it is not exist, right? So it can't find that. because the table name is not user underscore list. It is something else. How to find that? Go to user, type in user. We were finding something under the user administration section called users. Click on the user. So you will, when you start working on the systems, you will start remember a few of these tables on your. You will memorize these because they will be more used. Because whenever the system somebody says that I'm not able to log in, you might have to refer actually what user roles are, what he been created and which groups he been added. A lot of things we will discuss on it. So if I type now the user underscore list, right? That is the table which we are seeing here. When we click on the user, it shows that it is a table name is user, but the table backend value is actually uses user. I think even in if when we created a field, I said you created a test, but it is saved as a u underscore test. The u underscore test is the one which you have to use when you actually refer any field. So similarly, you will have for the table, even though you have given as users, but the table name will be sys underscore user. When you click on the sys user and then enter it, then it takes you to a page where it shows all the list of records which are there on the sys underscore user. So this is how you can navigate. The any new user which has to be created, there are multiple ways. I got into the table itself, and then where there are records already, and you can click on the new and then you can create. Also, you can come down here and then you can also add it here. So that way you can there are multiple ways you can actually create it. On the user table itself, you can come down here. You clicked on the user administrator, you clicked on the users, and then you come here, and then now you go to the user. It takes to a form. There is a shortcut to open this form also. This is the user. When you say the user dot form, then it opens the form. I think I had to click sys underscore user dot form. Yeah, see that the table name and the form, the capital letter form, if you type, it will open in the next page. If you type the
Yeah,
small letter, then it will open in the smaller page itself,
yeah,
page here.
yeah. Vinay,
Yes, Krishna. Yeah.
why you are giving that as a capital letter? Vinay, form list L is capital letter.
Which one? Use
In
sys underscore user dot. You're saying form here.
yeah, form.
Why I'm giving it? If I give it here, right? So whatever I'm viewing in this page, it will be
Yeah,
loaded on the same page. If I give small letter, for example, now, right?
yeah,
If
yeah.
this will load on the same page.
Okay, okay, okay,
The form will load on the same page. If you
okay,
give sys underscore user dot capital letter, it will open in the next page,
okay, okay, okay.
next tab.
Thanks.
You can see, so that I will not
Yeah.
be disturbed on this page. So whatever I'm doing, it will be stay back. So that way,
Oh,
it's both for the form and the list. You can use the same. When you're opening a form, you have to give a dot form, and when you're opening a table, you have to give a dot list. That's the
okay.
difference.
Thanks.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, so that's good. We are at 9 o'clock. Maybe we will extend by another 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That's okay.
yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, Vinay.
Yeah. So we are onto the user. I was telling about the user here. So when you go to the user, you can create a new user. I'll just do on the same page wherein it gives a access to create a new user. I'll go and then type a new user. I'll say new user is the new username, and then I'll say new user again, and then I will go to employee ID 12345. I'm just giving some test name. I'll say new, and then last name is user, and the email ID I'll give new user at example.com. So I'll just do this with the basic thing. If I go back to here in the form, I don't think I should be able to see that value is already there. Let me just cross check. I don't think I have created any user with that name in my personal instance. This underscore user dot list. I'll go and search here that whether that user is already exist or not. I have many, but I have not created user name, correct? So I'll go here, I'll just submit it, or I will just right click and then save it. And also you have something, whether when you create a user, you want to create it and activate them, and you have a web service access users. So this actually we will use in terms of the integration. I'll come back to this when we discuss on the topic, because you had to give those roles actually to them. You had to have a web service access enabled for those users who actually interact outside our instance. That means third party system want to connect with our system, then it needs to be enabled. The integration user, the similarly when we even we have any internal users who want to integrate with our systems, then we can enable this. So based on that integration, we will be enabling these two. But for the moment, normal user, you just don't need to do anything else, and then just go and then save it or submit it. So when you go and submit it, the new user is created. So you go here, I'll just refresh the page. Now the new user is created and it is active. So I have not set the password, so maybe you can even actually whenever if user come back and then say that my user id and login is not working, you can check here, there are a password need reset. If it is a need a reset, then it will be clicked here. And the logged out, if the somebody logged in many times and then with the wrong password, then it will be logged out. So you can enable all this actually when you do the work. So with this, I think with the user, I will stop here. This is how you can create a new user. Tomorrow in the session, we will quickly go through the group and the roles, how we can create a new user. We created a new user, how we can assign a user to a group, and how we can give a role to the user. So those we will discuss and understand in the tomorrow's session. That's the topics which I just wanted to cover today. Krishna, any other
Yeah.
things which you want to discuss? I think this is more or clear for you, how you actually customize your form, how you open the form, how you create a new field in the form, and how to create a user.
Yes. Yes, Vinay.
Good. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I think this is what we cover here, and I will come back with new topics. We will probably will create a module, we'll create a table tomorrow, and also we will try to see that how to create a group and give a role to the each individual groups and
Yeah, Vinay.
users. Yes.
Yeah, Vinay. Regarding these topics, if you're having any interview questions, can you please send to us?
Sorry.
Uh, Now you had completed these forms and users now.
Correct.
Yeah, regarding these topics, if you're having any interview questions, anything.
Okay, so don't go with this only these topics now. I will cover them actually as we go, because these are all
Yeah.
still the basics actually in any of the service now if you had to learn. Okay,
Okay.
so we are
Okay.
still not got into the many of the advanced topics. So we will be, I think by this week we should start all the advanced topics so that you will attempt to do more on the those topics. So you will understand that. Huh?
Okay.
Because on the field I was telling about the dictionary, right, the data
Yeah.
dictionary, so there is something more actually on it. Again, I was telling about the display field, why we need the display field. So these are the questions which will start as we start working. You will get to navigate more on the forms. When you
Okay.
navigate, you will see how this field is coming here, what is happening on the back end. So those discussions will answer you all the question what you have and what you get from the interviews. I will also help you there. Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah. By the end of this full session, please at least at last you can give us that interview with something.
Sure, sure, sure. What are the types
Okay.
of questions they ask? I think maybe in one of the session we will only cover that. We'll
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
discuss on the interview questions, what type of the questions they might ask, what you should answer, how these answers will come out, how you can actually explain in terms of your knowledge what you have already gained, and then how you can explain in terms of the working language. So that way I will help you guys to go back.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thanks for your
Thank you.
time, and have a nice day. Speak to you tomorrow again.
Okay. Okay.
Take care. Thank you.